Greetings, dear precious spirit soul that you are. I always wish to tell you my name, but Terry Cole-Whittaker, but I have a lot of names. Gigi, that's grandma. That woman, I read that one. Champakalata, that's my devotional name. But we're really not the name. We're not. See, my topic is the value, the great value in detachment. You see, our nature is to be attached because we're not completely independent, because we're part of the divine, all that is, the source of all. And so you want to be attached to your divine within, the supreme, what would you call it, spirit soul. And that in the Vedic language, in Sanskrit, Paramatma is super soul. That is, we would call it the God within, or the divine, not the outer, but that which we are all part of. That you don't have to go to someone else to be unified with God. We already are. We're already so. But not when someone says God said this, you always say, well, which God? You know, which God are you involved with? Because if it's a psychopath, killing, sacrifice, you know, blood offerings, all these kind of things, that's black magic rituals. And that is not divine. That's not who we are. We don't need to do that, because you see, what happens is, what may I say? As divine beings in this human expression, a human being truly is a divine being at the highest level of who we really are. Compassion, love, generosity. We're expressing our divinity into through everything that all that we are and all that we do. And when we're attached to everybody and everything, we're misidentifying ourselves as that we're dependent on that. That's just like if you feel you need someone, you're vampiring that person. You're sucking their life force, because you're saying, you're my source and I need you. You must do this. And then you'll see those, like say maybe in those who are ruling class, that's what they think they're doing, is it's all fear, and it's all force. And so then you get reward or punishment. It's this kind of an outer thing. But when you're dealing really with the divine, who we really are, there is no force. There's not the force be with you. It's the gentle, it's the easy, it's the loving of who we really are. And the more we're attached to anyone or anything outside of our own divine partner, beloved, source that we all are unified with, part of already. We're already together. That whole lie, and then it says, "Oh, you'll attain eternal life." You already are eternal. See, what happens is we get attached to meanings in words, and that's one of the ways humanity gets controlled. Obviously, the biggest way is through the words and the sounds and the meanings that are given to those, the definitions. And then also our own meanings that we've added to that, and you want to look at how all the words, you could write them down, all the words that you think signify you, all the words that you react to in a frightful way. And then take a look at what they really are. And you see, when you take a look at what they really are, first there's squiggles on the page. You know, you're writing them but that's not really it. But that is a sigil. That could be a sigil. And then you're right, and now you're speaking it, and that's the sound frequency that matches that particular manifestation or concept. And when you do that and you give a meaning to it, you're infusing that with your divine. See, you're a divine creative being. And don't let people think that AI is more superior to who you are. That's artificial intelligence. That's the mind. That's the thinking system. And then you take a look at the meanings that you give somebody. Say if somebody doesn't recognize you in the market and you think, oh, they don't like me. That now you're giving meaning to what they did, And if you take a look at what are the meanings, almost always is poor you, or you're a victim, or they can hurt you, or they won't like you, or if they don't like you, maybe you'll be fired. I mean, look at all of these thoughts and all of these words. And then we're giving meaning to, when really, if you think of yourself as a clean slate, that there's nothing written on you, and because of who you are whole, complete, and perfect in every way, not in the mind, but in who you really are. And then when we are taught to believe we are this meat stick, and that's all that we are, and that we are then set into a limitation of whatever religion, whatever neighborhood, whatever family, all of these, and then you go to the university where they're teaching you one song and one word because it's a universe, and then they're saying there's only one universe, and there's the one. No, these are numbers. You're not numbers. You're not a one. You see, these are all concepts, ideas. And then we get attached to our beliefs. And people are fighting wars out there because of beliefs. It has nothing to do with them, but they're being used, you see, because they give their power away to someone else, and they're attached to food. I mean, look at this. We're so attached to maintaining this physical body. Yeah, you want to maintain your physical body so you can get your job done. And that you can do the very work that is, here's the key. Once you realize something, you never go back again. And the key is when they say, well, we now have a memory wipe machine that'll get rid of bad memories. Oh, really? If you trust your memories, you see, and then somebody erases them, you think, well, I don't know who I am. You're not your memories. None of this. You're who you are. And the more you are there being who you are, some of the best, and get those shoes off, start to look at whatever you're being told to do in every single aspect, that's some outer meaning that is being given to you, and concepts and ideas. And what you want to do is you take command of yourself and do the very best for you. And when you're doing the best for yourself as a soul, you're also doing the best to maintain your physical body in a healthy way, you see. So you want to be attached to the divine, but detached from the manifestation and the creation, because you don't need to be attached to it, because it's not who you are. So you take a look at where all your attachments are. That's where your suffering is. That's where the pain is. That's where the ignorance is. And always, always the ownership. This is mine, meaning it's part of me. Or you threaten that, or you challenge my religion, or you challenge my thing because that's who I am, and my God's better than your God. I mean, use intelligence, divine intelligence. We all, as humans, have all the similarities, and also more of that similarities in who we are spiritually and divinely. We're family. And yet at the same time, just like in any family, you may not want to hang out with all the family members because they're doing their own thing. And then you get attached also to the family, so you can be like them, and attached to the religion, and attached to the corporation, and attached to the house and the boat and the car. You get attached to all of this and what you look like, so that constantly in a state of anxiety and fear for loss of future happiness. And that's running everybody. So here's the key. Get into nature. Practice the breathing. Bring yourself into who you really are. And you start to notice when you suffer. What are you attached to? What are you promoting? What are you protecting? That's not you. Get attached to who you are, because you are attached to the divine.